it's Chinyere here. So guys, today we are finally talking about credit. This is video one of maybe like 2 or 3 that I really want to get into. I have a lot of young people that watch and even older people, and you know what, this could help anybody. Now, I don't know if you remember, but in January I posted a video about my New Year's resolutions, and on the list was my credit. Now listen, it has taken hits, I've built it, I've done crazy things to, hurt it, so I really do not want to see y'all making these mistakes, especially for the young girls who do watch me, and even older people. This could probably help you, honestly. I am going to be introducing a new website. It's called Sesame. Now this website may not be new to you, you may have heard about it, but I just wanted to kind of talk about it because after I posted that video, people did ask me about like credit companies and scores and other things like that, so I do want to review it and just see just more of an overview of things, and I will go into detail more videos that I make on each subject. Now, in no way am I calling myself a financial advisor, a credit advisor, nothing like that. But come on, I'm a 24-year-old woman. I've been building my credit for like 6.5 years. Since I was like 17, I knew what I was going to be needing to do, and I have done some dumb stuff. But with sites like these, this really helped me in a free way to get myself better on track and understand what I'm doing and to just not make mistakes like this. So let's talk about it. So when you put in all your info on the site, you're going to get a credit score, a credit analysis, and tips for managing finances. All of this is updated every month. Also, when you sign up, you get free ID theft protection up to $50,000. And there's also a marketplace for you to browse credit cards and loan offers. You don't have to take them, but it's just for you to see your options so you don't feel like you're stuck. So I'm going to do a website walkthrough, meaning I'm going to screenshot it as I speak, and I'm going to talk about like what I'm doing in the process so you can feel a little bit more comfortable in knowing whether you want to do it or not. So this is the first page. This is what it should look like when you come there. You're going to sign up here. I actually already signed up, so I just logged in, and I had to actually put in my information. They're going to ask you a series of questions. You'll just go through it. It's simple. It's not a hard inquiry. It's a soft one. So this is the first page where you can kind of customize things. I just picked 3 things that I was working on, like my credit, maybe getting like a personal loan, and like my goals, buying like a home or refinancing a mortgage, things like that. So I clicked improving my credit. So then it takes me to another page. This one, I kind of skipped over some things simply because it was showing too much info. But they're just telling you like what you could qualify for, like what credit cards and other things. And then this part talks a little bit more about credit utilization. Allie, I guess, I never heard of an emergency fund, so that's new to me. Apparently, I only use 6% of my credit. Like I said, guys, I leave my credit card in an envelope somewhere, like, because I really try not to use it. This one's saying that if I wanted to get like a loan, like a car loan, I would get approved for about $35,000, which is actually pretty accurate. And then a home loan would be $152,000. Like I said, these are ballpark numbers, so you never know, but I wouldn't rely, but you just, it can give you a good idea of what you're getting. And then this one is just an Avant, like I guess credit card or a Chase Slate, what they think you would get approved for. But like I said, if you're not sure, don't keep applying. Just keep applying to a minimum. And then once again, the loan, and it's telling me about different banks that I could try out and what my interest rate would be according to credit. So now I'm looking in my alert summary, and you can go in here and click, I think, the bell. I wasn't sure how this worked. That's why I was kind of going back and forth. I was a little bit confused. But you can also customize it. Okay, so staying in the alert summary area, you can get notified whenever your credit drops or goes above a certain number that you specify, and then you update it. And then also over to the left-hand side, here is if you upgrade. These are the things that they offer. Like credit charge monitoring, child predator, people in the area. It offers a great system, and it's also still great even if you use the free version, but the upgraded one offers things that other credit companies are not offering. Okay, so let's check the tab My Finances, then My Credit Report. It's going to take you to a page where if you pay $9.95 a month, you can get 1 bureau report for the entire month. Now you can also get a full year for free if you go to each credit bureau site, but here it would just be there. Okay, so that was a walkthrough. Obviously, the website does help you with figuring out which credit card you want to go with, but these are just tips and tricks for me when I was starting off young and doing credit and trying to figure out things for myself. Now, if you are a teenager, you're like 18, 19, and you're getting all these credit card offers, I personally would not do it. It looks tempting and they're offering you $2,000 and $1,000 and all that stuff. But you typically want to start off with a lower credit limit. Like, let's say a secured card. Let's say you're not getting approved for, you know, the big name credit cards and they offer you something that's secured. A lot of times with that, you can get a really good one at Capital One. They offer a great one. The limit is typically about $200 to $500 and you usually have to pay a deposit. Now, when I got mine about 5 years ago, they took the deposit out of the balance, what they gave me. Like when I first started off, my credit card limit was like $200, and that's because of something else, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But they took out $50 out of my first month. So for example, when I first received my credit card, it had a $200 limit, but because I owed them a deposit because it was a secured card, they took out $49. So I only had like $150 to spend. Now, at the end of the month, when my bill is due, typically the bill was about $25, or like $20. I would never pay the minimum. I would always give them like $100. And on top of that, I would not like cash it out to the limit. I did have a couple times where I really needed to use my credit card, and I ended up just like maxing it out. But if you can, try not to do that. And if you see you're only getting approved for small amounts, see how you're doing with the really, really small credit limit, and then apply for a second one with the same company. They may offer you up to 3 credit cards typically. Okay guys, so the number one thing that creditors look at is seeing if you pay your bills on time. I mean, this is any bill, a light bill, a phone bill, your car note, your, like anything. If they see that you're paying it late, especially consistently, they're gonna be like, no. Even if it's something really, really small. If you can't even pay that, how are you gonna be able to pay something else? If you don't do anything else and you know that you're really, really bad with paying bills on time, I would honestly suggest just doing an auto pay and just doing it from one account and making sure at the end of the month you have all your bills, you know, in that account. I would also recommend having all your bills come out at one time if that helps you, unless you have a job where it's like, you know, you're really living paycheck to paycheck. But if you have all your bills come out at one time, you would maybe have more money for the month. But you know, everybody's different. Some people, if they see all that money in their account, they just start spending it. Then when it's time to come around for the bills, they're like, ooh. So you know, maybe all those different times in a month are helpful for some people. But for some people, knowing that all of it's coming out one day and it's, you know, they want their money, so that's not going to be late, and you already know, okay, I have this amount for the rest of the month, and I would honestly recommend doing that. Or having your payments come out 2 times in a month when you know you're getting paid, so that, you know, you're not feeling overwhelmed constantly trying to check up on the bill. Another thing that's super, super, super important are inquiries. Let's say you're trying to get a car and you're shopping around, but you're doing it online. The one thing that you don't want to do is to keep shopping around at different dealers. That's for anything. When they see that you're desperate, they're like, why is nobody approving this person for a loan? That looks really, really bad on your credit. You're shopping around, you look desperate, and nobody is approving you. Stop it right there. And also, every time you do an inquiry, even if they say like at the bank, or you know, if you're applying for a loan, if you say it at the car place, like they're saying no, it won't impact it. No guys, it impacts it, and it impacts it seriously. Like it makes it go down a lot, and it takes a lot for it to get back up. That's the only thing that's one of the things that honestly sucks about credit. You can spend your whole life building it, and literally 3 things can boom, 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 put you in a totally different. So once again, if you see that you're not getting approved for even like the most simple credit card, even if they say, oh, it could depend on this, it could depend on that, don't listen to them. It's very, very serious that you just stop, let it build, and make sure that you're paying your things on time and keeping your inquiries extremely low and not going over your credit card limit. Now, let's get into the credit card talk. Now, my very first credit card was actually a secured one. I got it with Capital One, and I highly recommend them. There are also different credit card companies that are not scams, like a Premier credit card company, but those are only the 2 that I can remember that I used, and they were like legit, and it wasn't like crazy stuff going on. It was Capital One and Premier credit card, but Capital One beats them all. I don't even recommend Premier anymore to people, but you know, it's legit. It will really help you build your credit. Now listen, let's say, like for me, for example, I'm going to use myself as an example. I ended up getting a credit limit of $200 when I was like 18 or 19. For some reason, I wasn't getting approved for anything, but that's because I had way too many inquiries. Somebody was telling me that no credit was good credit. Guys, that is a lie. Whenever you hear those commercials and they're saying no credit is bad credit, or like no credit, bad credit, like they're all in the same realm. I'll be honest with you guys, no credit is way better than bad credit, but it's not any better. Like, it's honestly not that much better. You see, they don't know what you're gonna do with the credit. With bad credit, they kind of have an idea of what you're gonna do with it, so they're like, ooh, you know what I mean? And with good credit, they have an idea. No credit is right there in the middle, where they don't know if this could go south or north. They have no idea, so they don't really want to take a chance with you. Now, obviously, you have a way better chance than somebody with bad credit, but don't use it. Save your inquiries. With people over the decades, like, you know, there was the housing crash. There were all those things, the economic things that happened where creditors aren't standing in front of college, like, lawns anymore. They used to do that when my brothers were in college, like literally 3 years, 5 years earlier. Credit companies like American Express and Visa and MasterCard, they will be sitting in front of college campuses pretty much giving out credit cards. They don't do that anymore because college students can be very irresponsible with their money, and they were giving them like $5,000, $10,000, and it just sounded amazing, and it is, if you use it correctly. And I wish that was my area, because I totally would have taken care of it. But anyway, I had these $200, I got my first credit card limit was $200, and I was like, oh, this is not enough, honestly. I need more credit to show for these people. So then I got another $200 and another $200, and they only let me get up to 3 credit cards. So with the first one that I had, I don't know if they're still doing this way, but you have to pay a deposit for a secured credit card. They will give you a $200 limit, just for yourself. But they would take a deposit that you would give back when you close the credit card of $50. So when I first received the card, even though my limit was $200, it would only have $150 on there because they had taken their deposit out. And like I said, once you pay your credit card up, you know, you can close it, which I don't recommend, or you can keep it, and you know, you will get your deposit back at some point. And then you can also put more money on it, and you can raise your own credit limit. I did not have money for that at the time. So anyway, I ended up, you know, I didn't really understand how credit worked at the time, so I made the mistake. I was like, I have this credit card for all these years, but I was keeping it at a very low balance, guys. And it doesn't matter if you max it out that month and then you go and you put it back up. No. Since it starts over every month, the moment you max it out, that's it. They've already taken record of it, so it doesn't matter if you fill it up 7 times that month. It still looks bad no matter what. So my advice nowadays, I literally have credit cards and they sit in a little pouch and they're just filled up because I wanted to rise and I just don't want to mess with it. But back then I really needed the funds, and it's like, you know, what is a girl to do? So that's my first piece of advice. Try not to max out your credit cards, and if you have a very low limit, you honestly should have the whole limit. Like, let's say your credit limit is $5,000. They say keep 20%, you know, like only spend, always have at least like 50% or something like that. That's fine. But when your credit limit is $200, you should literally have $200 at the end of every month. Like, don't even use it if you can. Just have it there building credit if you can. But if not, you know, I totally get it. I've been there, believe me. So now I've upped my credit limits. Like, I put $2,500 on one card, then I put $500 on like another card so that I can keep it, because they were both secured and I didn't want to get rid of them. But at the same time, they told me I had a deadline of like January 18th where I could just put, you know, however much money, because you can't up your limit anymore. So I just said, okay, I'm gonna put like $3,000 on one card, another card, because I've had them. Those are my longest lines of credit. Any other thing I would have just applied and got me a new one, but no, those are my longest ones. And for my longest lines of credit to only be $200, I was like, no, that's not gonna work for me. So yeah, I ended up just upping the level of them. Also, guys, please don't forget to head over to creditsesame.com so you can honestly get started on your financial future. It's really easy to use. There's no credit card, nothing involved. Like, there's no, you know, the other competitors are like, oh, pay this and you get your, no, it's just there. And then you can also look at your credit history to see what's going on. And every single time something hits your credit, you're gonna get alerted, and that's amazing. Like, somebody could be using your stuff and you would have no idea. When you go to a car dealership, as soon as they run your credit, boom, you're gonna get an email letting you know, hey, somebody's been looking at it. So even if you don't really pay attention to the score that much, that's fine. Pay more attention to what's going on with your credit, the list, because the score could totally, you know, be around there in the ballpark area, but it's more about what you could do to help yourself and how you can get your inquiries off and all of that. And because it's also more than just like a credit score and all that. You also get like financial tips, just like getting a credit card, loans. You don't have to get them like I said, but there are options for you guys to see everything. So yeah guys, that's pretty much all for my video today. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, even suggestions on your credit like experience or what's happened with you, please by all means comment down below and let me know. Alright guys, I will talk to you later. Bye.